So one thing about it, when there's death, there's also life.
Brother, brother, don't you know, it don't matter where you go, bad news has a way to seek you out. You can change the pace, you can run and hide, but that don't change the folks outside. The world just has a bite, it's pretty stout. Righteousness won't fill your cup, your dues you don't just won't add up. Sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. Show 'em just what you're made of, and all your dreams will stand right up. It's all right there, just ready for the taking.
Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And today we are not as chipper as we normally are in most of our videos. It's kind of a sad day on the homestead. We've lost Mama Duck. She, as most of you all seen in our video, she had a limp that she was working with. So way back, it was early spring, right? Mm-hmm. We had went on a trip, and our ducks were kind of free ranged. We had never had an issue. And then Papa Duck was actually taken away. We believe it was from a pond monster. Turtle, something on the lines of that. They came down and got him. Well, in the midst of the attack, Mama Duck broke her leg. And so around here, when you have 50 plus chickens and stuff like that, unfortunately poultry passes. It's one of those things that happens, so it's not something that you rush off to the vet immediately when something gets hurt.
Right.
Now, if it was some of our larger animals, our goats, our dogs, cats, of course we would. So I don't want you to think that we're just negative on vets. That's not the case. But Mama Duck had a hurt leg, so we kind of let her work it out. Figure it out on her own, see if it would heal back.
And she did well.
She did.
She got around fine. She limped, but she never, cried in pain or anything like that. She ate just fine. She still swam in her water. She loved to swim, and she, ultimately was okay. She just had a bad leg.
Right, she got into her pool, she was able to swim, clean herself, so all the things that she needed to do, she could still do. Tall Weeds and Russ, Angela, who you all are starting to get familiar with more, brought us over a drake so she could have a male duck with her, just so she wouldn't have that sadness.
And then we hatched her babies for her. She was not able to hatch them herself, so we helped her out and we hatched her 2 ducks, which she absolutely loved. She finally got her babies and got to watch them grow up, and she had her man, so they were a happy little family.
So if you're new to our channel and you're like, what are they talking about? We're going to show you real quick the 3 remaining ducks we have. They're all males. So the gray one is Papa Duck number 2, the one that Tall Weeds and Russ brought to us to keep Mama Duck company. And then the 2 with the poof top, and the other one are the babies from Mama Duck and Papa Duck 1. We were saving her eggs when he got attacked, and so it really worked out well that we were able to incubate and hatch them. So they live on in the babies, but let's see them real quick.
So unfortunately, within the past few days, she just kind of started to decline in her health and with her leg.
And it's important to note that she's about 6 years old.
Yeah. She just, it got worse, and we had her checked out because it got to the point where we were, extra worried. She just wasn't herself. So we had her checked out. And he said, you can either put her down or you can just let her continue to live her life on your homestead. It would probably only be a few days. And she wasn't suffering. She was still eating, she was still swimming, she was still fine. So
we put her by herself,
yeah.
So the other animals wouldn't attack or trample or anything like that.
Putting her down just wasn't really an option for us. It didn't feel fair. because we've seen her bounce back so many times, it
Right.
felt like she should have another chance. So we gave her that, and she had a great next few days. She, like I said, she was swimming, she was eating, everything was fine. And then all of a sudden she just went down, and it was very quick. She did not suffer whatsoever. I fed her in the morning, and
she ate.
Yeah, and she ate good, and an hour later she was gone. So I think it was just her time, and I think she just kind of gave up the fight, and she's with Papa Duck now. So
Yep, they're back
and they're
swimming
watching
together.
over their babies, and you know, it's really sad, but I'm also just relieved that she's not suffering. And I can't stand to watch an animal suffer, and I know Zach can't either. You all know how passionate we are about our animals. We love each and every one of them so much. So to watch one just have a hard time is really rough, and we do not like to do that.
Right.
Like I said, putting her down wasn't an option to us because she was still okay, but she went on her own time.
Yep.
I think she was ready, and she just went quickly, and there was no struggle or anything.
Yep.
So all the rest of the ducks are doing really good. I think they're confused, but
Right.
they're okay. They're all bonded together really tightly, so really they're all like brothers instead of dad and kids, but
Stepdad.
yeah.
Stepdad turned friend. But you know, our main reason, we have two main reasons of doing this part of the video. One, just to share with you all that Mama Duck passed, because I know the passion that we feel towards our animals, a lot of you all feel towards that too. When we had people here for the harvest celebration, it was like, it was their animals, and it was awesome because you all have fallen in love with them too. The second is, it's not always bells and whistles and glory on a homestead. There is going to be sad times, but don't ever let that block you from getting passion towards your animals.
Yeah.
Don't say, well, they're just going to die, so I'm not going to get attached. Don't do that. Allow yourself to get attached, because she spent 6 awesome years in our life, and we loved her.
Yeah.
So it's okay that things are going to pass on, but it's that, what's the old saying on your headstone? It doesn't matter about the begin or the date at the beginning or the date at the end. It's the dash in the middle that's important. That's how your animals are too, is that dash in the middle. So how great was their life? Did you show them love? Did you show them passion? Did you show them comfort? And actually let them enjoy their lives? Because, you know, the animals are more than just providing eggs or providing milk or meat or whatever it is that you use them for. They want a good life too, just like it's your dog. So we don't want to be over the top, like we're just crazy about our animals, but we do want to show that it's okay to have love and passion for your farm animals that are here for a purpose.
So 5-6 years ago, if we had lost even one chicken, I would have been ready to throw in the towel. It would have discouraged me, and I would have said, get rid of them all, because I can't stand to see another one die. And that's kind of where we were with homesteading a few years ago. We had a really hard time moving on from deaths, and we didn't learn from it very well. We just kind of repeated our same mistakes over and over and over, or just gave up completely because we didn't want to see anything die. And obviously we still don't want to see anything die, but we've grown up a little, and we've learned, and we know that homesteading is hard. You know, the animals, they're gonna have their times when you're worried, or they die, or they get sick. Sometimes you can bring them back and everything's fine, and other times you just lose them, and it's a very sad and unfortunate thing, but it doesn't mean that you just give up, because there are still other animals to care for. And I'm just happy she's not suffering anymore, and a little bit relieved, because I know she's, you know, back to the very first start of her life. She's happy again.
And I think you touched on a really good point. We were very discouraged when we had previous ones, but I think it's because when we went to bed at night, I didn't feel like I did everything I could to protect them. Now, because we've learned so much, and we've learned a lot about predator control, you know, this wasn't a predator issue. Well, it started out that way, but when she died, it wasn't.
And we learned a lot from that.
We did. But, you know, now we take a lot of precautions to protect our animals. Stuff that we used to not do as extreme, because I kind of had that mindset, oh, it'll be all right. You know, that terrible mindset to have. Now I don't have that. So, like, when I go to sleep at night, I'm going to know that we did everything for Mama Duck that we could. Yes. And some things you just can't avoid. So I think that's why I feel better about the situation, even though it's a terrible thing to be in.
I agree. Well, not to take away from the situation, but we are locked in the greenhouse.
Yeah, she came in behind me. She knows not to close. We're winterized, so when this door shuts, it shuts. It has a latch on the back.
I don't know what I was thinking. It has a latch on the back, and I shut it, and...
Wyatt!
At least it's warm in here. Well, this is fun. Well, thankfully, Zach stuck his hand through the plastic and got it out. Oh my goodness, I'm sitting here yelling for Wyatt. Zach's like, he's not gonna hear you.
Well, anyways.
All right. That's the latch. So that's why we couldn't get out. But he stuck his hand through here, thankfully. We gotta remember that, just in case that ever happens again.
So one thing about it, when there's death, there's also life.
It really does seem to be a pattern here on our homestead. Whenever we lose something, there's always new life
right around
the
the corner.
day.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, it's really encouraging. And it's, you know, the new life doesn't make you forget about what you lost. It just makes it a little bit lighter.
Exactly.
And it gives you, you know, something to focus what could be negative energy into positive energy and just make that better.
That's exactly right. So we're going to take you along with us to see what the new animal is going to be.
Yay!
Some of you all know because I've let it slip, but others may not. So here we go. Now we're all bundled up and headed to get the new animal.
Go!
What do you think, kiddos?
Cold.
Cold.
Brr.
It's the mountain.
I know it has frost on it.
Did it snow?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I just slipped. Our kids, every time it frosts, they think it snows.
Yeah.
Let me know if your kids think the same thing.
Not gonna tell them different.
Nope. Can't break their hearts, right? Whoa, I just slipped again. I'm going to have to put this camera down before I fall and bust my butt. Okay, we are back home with our baby chicks. And so we've got 20 Cornish crosses. That is our second meat animal if you're unfamiliar with that, because we had let it slip a couple times. But this is the official video introducing you all to them. So before we get to them, I want to show you the turkeys. The turkeys are still doing really good. They're getting big. We got 7 of them. They're very, very chill little animals right now. They just like to lay and stay warm, eat and drink, and they're being very good. You excited, babe?
I am. So we got them from the post office. We got them bright and early this morning. They called, and they're all alive.
All
So
20.
all 20 are alive. That is a record breaker for our post office. I'm shocked. Usually there's 1 or 2 that are dead, but they're all alive.
And they filled up this tote pretty good because we got this long feeder, and then we got their water. So we'll probably go to Roll King and get them a bigger tote like the turkeys.
It smells great in this room, by the way.
It sure does. We got 3 of our own chickens, 20 new chickens, and 7 turkeys all in Wyatt's room. Poor Wyatt. No, he doesn't stay in here, but this is our grow room. I see one that's not looking the hottest. He's kind of got... When, a little side note, when chicks start getting a little unbalanced and they're not looking like they're little wobbly, kind of doing this number, you need to pay attention to them because that is your first sign that a baby chick may be going down. Check their butts for pasty butt, make sure that they know where the feed and water is, and make sure that they're warm enough. That's kind of really the 3 things that you can do to try to save them. But, you know, they had a long trip, so we expect to lose a couple. We're on a good start. The none died on the trip, but yeah, you see, he's still squawking, but he'll get warm, and we'll just keep monitoring and hope for the best. What's up, Wyatt?
What's up?
What do you think?
Oh.
You're not ready for meat chickens? You don't want no chicken nuggets? That's all right. You ain't got to be a part of it. So I hope you all have enjoyed this video. You got to see. Well, you got to hear about Mama Duck. You got to see a little update on our actual ducks because I don't think we caught them when we were looking at our little house or our little farm area zoo tour.
Yeah,
And then you get to see all of our 20 new chickens.
Yay.
We'll keep you updated on how they do. Hopefully they all make it. We'll see. Everybody's looking good so far besides that one, but I think he's bouncing back.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you updated on there. Thank you for watching. Anything else you got?
You know, just thank you for not being negative and always supporting us and encouraging us to keep going. We appreciate it.
Positivity. I can ruin a good moment quick. Positivity only.
Yes.
Is what I meant to say.
Yes. We love y'all, and we will talk to you soon.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.